and then do share screen again.
Yep.
Oh, sure. Mhm.
Perfect.
Then go back to this one now. Now, how do
And
you?
then what are you using? Google? Check.
Yeah.
Click on slide.
Slide. Where's slide at?
Top header.
Oh, right here. Oh wait, is that slide?
Oh, you know what? Shucks, I don't. Oh, here, go see that button where it says present next to share, the yellow button on the right. Click the drop down a little bit farther to the right, up.
Oh, on the drop down.
You see where it says share, the yellow button?
Shoot, I don't see a yellow button actually. I don't
No,
know if
it's
Next to your
not the
picture.
share button. It's the present button on the left of the share. Where your face is, there's a share button on the left, and then there's a present button. Click the present one.
Little lower, to the left, right there. Hit that drop down. Little up.
You should just be able to click that present button right there.
Oh yeah, click present.
Sure, I do not see that present. I'm so sorry. I don't.
You're right next to it, bro.
Yeah, you're right next to it. Right above
Click
where your mouse
Oh,
is.
it's right here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, my bad.
There we go.
Roger that. Good job.
Sorry for the delay, guys. Okay. Let me see. How do you?
There we go.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, my company is Island Property Buyers. Just wanted to share this Hawula house flip. Yeah, kind of
Handsome.
almost there to you, Corey. Almost there. So yeah, I was in the Carpenters Union for 12 years. Got into real estate. I've been flipping for about 2 or 3 years actually. Yeah, you guys actually was definitely my mentors and inspiration to me. You Kikoa, Keone, Richie, all you guys. I remember when I first was taking a course too, running into you guys, meeting you guys, going on the tours and stuff like that too. Definitely awesome to connect with you guys and stuff like that. So this is the property right there, the Hawula flip. I chose this one because it was probably the most craziest flip I've done from rehab to probably the closing to acquisitions to rehab also for the most. I think the rehab was like $250,000 or something like that. So yeah, finding the deal, I got this deal. I got the lead online. This guy that's actually him right there. I was trying to just take a picture of his living room, but he was standing right there. So, but I got it online. He found my Google ad. He clicked on it. He called me. This guy, he was going through foreclosure, so he had 2 weeks to either pay his property taxes, which he hasn't paid for like 7 years. I think he only owed about $8,000, but he just didn't have any money, or there was just gonna foreclose on his house and just kick him right out. So the way I worked this one was that I just told him, I'll pay the property taxes out of pocket, and he'll, if you sell me the house, sign the contract first, and I'm going to take care of all of that. So I went to go look at it. We agreed on a price. He signed. I went down to the courthouse. I paid all his property taxes out of pocket. So financing the deal. So there's the awesome Stellar Hustler team right here with all you guys right here. Big ups to you guys. How many deals you guys, funded already for me. So the funding on this one came like literally down to like minutes with like Corey and escrow officer Celine. They was just sitting there just working it out, man. And just Corey just pulled in, he just pulled in with the funds like last minute too. So
well, I want to say something on this one because okay, so what did you buy it for? Or are you gonna talk about that in the next slide?
I think that might be the next slide.
Okay, I'll let you talk about that. But so this one, Dustin called us. This is when Alexander and I think we're in LA, and so we were already working on closing this deal for Dustin, and we're having troubles because our partners said the deal is too good, like something's wrong, like what, how come it's so low he's buying it for, right? And we're trying to tell him, like, look, the guy's distressed, he's gonna lose the property, so he rather get something out of it, right? So anyways, we ended up we couldn't get a commitment. And then Dustin, I mean, credit to you, Dustin, because like under a lot of pressure, like this is a once in a lifetime kind of deal. And credit to you, because if I was you, I'd be a lot more like worried and panicked, but you're just that's your nature. You know, you're a calm, even keel guy, which is really beneficial because, you know, sometimes when you're under pressure, you make irrational decisions, you know. And so Alex and I were talking, and I remember the three of us were talking, and we're like, look, like, we got to close this deal, because there was other investors, kind of sharks circling the property, just waiting for you to fall out of contract so that they can swoop in and take it, right? Like these guys were like, I don't know, man. Like there's so many guys like just checking in with the homeowner saying like, hey, did he close, you know? And so what happened was, is like, if we can't close this deal, if we can't fund them $94,000, we don't deserve to lend. You know, like we don't deserve to be in this business. So we ended up using our own capital and closing it. But it was so down to the wire that I don't even know if I want to tell this story. I was drafting the loan docs at the signing table. Okay, there was a picture of me. Dustin took a picture of me, which thank you for. By the way,
I should put that on there too.
That's gonna be a memorable moment for us, because like this was probably like the third loan we've ever done. I was drafting loan docs at the signing table, and I used my Rocket Lawyer account. So turns out you can't close deals and sell notes if it's a Rocket Lawyer note in mortgage. Okay, so anybody that wants to, like, you know, get in the lending business, you need institutional grade docs. Okay, you got to pay the big dollars for the big time New York attorneys to draft your loan docs. We know that now. So the plan was to close the loan for Dustin and sell it, because who wouldn't want to buy a loan that's at 15% LTV? You know, it's the least riskiest loan ever. And so we closed the loan for Dustin with Rocket Lawyer docs. I mean, nothing against Rocket Lawyer. Rocket Lawyer is great, you know, like Legal Shield's great if you're just drafting agreements and stuff, you know. But if you're trying to close a loan that you're going to sell to a big financial institution, don't use them. Anyways, so we ended up closing it right, you know, at the signing table, like trying to figure this all out. And Dustin, to your credit, he stayed calm, cool, and collective, and we ended up getting it done. But go ahead. I just want to tell that story.
Yeah, for some reason though, I just felt like you know, working with you guys, I just felt like I was in good hands. I just felt like, even though it was, you know, coming down to the wire, we actually extended two or three times, and there was another investor that kept coming by the property trying to score that deal too. And the homeowner, was actually losing a lot of patience. And the other investor was just offering him a lot more, giving him, offering him all kinds of things, because the homeowner actually just wanted to get out of Hawaii. He wanted to go back to New York. So he was just like rubbing him up all really good, telling him, I'll give you first class back to New York and Hawaii. But he was just giving. He was coming by every week, and I was telling Corey, man, we gotta close this thing. So, but yeah. Man,
well, thanks for hanging in there and believing in us. Like we were not gonna let you down. Like Alex and I were thinking, like we can't let this happen. Like we will close, you know. So. Yeah. But it was like we ended up holding the loan for like a long time, like longer than we expected. But it was okay, because I would not be able to sleep if I knew that we couldn't close and you lost that deal. You know what I mean? Like I could not sleep with that. Yeah. Right, Alex? Remember those conversations?
Yeah, no, we were like, this is like the deal of a lifetime. There's no way we can be the reason this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
We got it done.
Yeah, you guys definitely did, man. Yeah, thank you guys so much, man.
It was
So,
exciting, very exciting. Most exciting deal I've been a part of.
yeah, yeah, that was when they first started working all together too. And you guys started lending and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
yeah. So the purchase price was like 109,000. And the closing cost 7,000, renovations 215. Let me see. Oh yeah, so the purchase price. So I was actually, oh, I didn't put that on there, but the property taxes were like 7 or 8,000. So I was actually on the back end in about 115,000 for this property. Um, the reason why the holding cost was actually so long was, yeah, like I said earlier, I was trying to Airbnb it, and we actually refied in the middle of it too. So that was the only way. I think that was the only way you guys was able to get rid of the note too. Yeah, you guys refied me out and stuff like that too.
Yeah. We did a cash out refi, but look at the numbers. This is why it was so hard to close. We couldn't close it with our capital partners because he bought it for 109,000. Okay, you can't even buy parking stalls out here for that much sometimes. Okay, like, and so the ARV is 750.
Yeah.
So, and actually the 309, that's what you made on the sale, right?
No, that's I think including that's the 309 is
Because we did a cash out refi
Refi.
for you too, where
Yeah.
what was that, 250?
Yeah, the cash out refi was 225,000. The proceeds went to me, but I actually ended up using that to cover some other things too. So I used like majority of it to kind of just pay, pay out the construction cost too, because I actually underestimated the rehab. The rehab initially was only like 100,000, and then it came out like double.
Right.
So I actually used that money for the rehab too. Yeah, initially the ARV was actually 700,000, but at the last second, I told my I'm not sure if she's on here or what, but my disposition manager Amber, I told her, yeah, you know what, I think you can squeeze an extra 50 grand out of it. Why not? Just slam it on there for 750. So she's like, yeah, why not? Boom, slam it on there, and there's an escrow in about a week for 750, and it all went through. So. So why not make that last minute decision of an extra 50 grand on just tack that on there, but so like this is like the profit 362,000. If I would have sold it right away after I rehab it, that probably would have been a profit in probably about 4 or 5 months. 300 and but yeah, I'm not sure if I did the ROI correct on this. Does that look right?
Yep.
That's all. I was kind of like, wait, that doesn't seem right at 117% on the return on
Well,
income.
your all-in cost no, that looks right. All-in
Right?
cost was 309, 300.
Yeah, and then divided by
your profit. Yeah, I think that looks right. So
it's just kind of odd just seeing the 117.
yeah, I know. Yeah. So the 362.5, does that include that doesn't include like the cash flow you got from, or did you cash flow from Airbnb it for a few months?
Oh yeah, I actually did cash flow from that, but that doesn't include that. I kind of just ran these numbers as a flip, but I did implement the refinance. So the cost of refinance, because I think the refinance was like $10,000 to close, I think. So yeah, so I did implement.
So does the 362 factor in the cash out refi too, like the 225 that you took out put in your pocket?
Yeah,
Okay.
That includes that too. So.
Can I ask a question about the acquisition side of this deal?
Sure.
So when he called, it's a PPC lead, did you get a number from him like on the initial call, or did you get that on the appointment and sign the contract the same, when you first went to that first appointment, or did you have to go to multiple appointments to get the contract?
We kind of went back and forth on the phone for a while. First I was actually trying to figure out what what to do, how to actually take him out of foreclosure. So after a while he just started throwing numbers at me. He's like, what, I'll just give you the house for first I told him I can do like 300,000, and then he told me, what, I'll sell it to you for half as much. I'll just give it to you for half as much. I just want to get out of here. I just want something, get out of there. So when I actually went there, I brought the for sale by owner contract, and I said, you know what, this place is pretty wrecked. So I was like, you know what, I can do 115, and then we got to minus the property taxes too. So basically it's like 109, or 109, just about there. So I went there just once because we was kind of on the phone a lot prior to that, and then I looked at it. He was just willing to just sign and get out, and he just agreed right away, and he just signed, and it just was a done deal after that.
That's what you call a motivated seller, right? Like
he was
gonna lose the property anyways. So
Yeah,
why not pocket 100 grand and go move on with your life and avoid foreclosure? So that's why it's sometimes in the lending space, like our partners, they don't understand, sometimes it's just, that's what we're here for. We're here to provide solutions to people. And it's not like you're taking advantage of this guy. It's just this guy wanted out. He wanted to move back to New York, and he wanted to move back now. You know what I mean? He didn't want to have to deal with having to put it on the market and all that. So, Dustin, real quick, can you check to see if there's people waiting in the waiting room? Because right about now, we're running late, but right about now is when people might be coming in from thinking it's at 12. Do you see any?
How do you do that? How do you?
Maybe on the bottom, there might be showing people waiting. If not, it's all right. We can move on.
Where does it?
On the very bottom of your screen, Dustin, the very bottom, like it says participants.
Participants.
Oh, I think that's actually. Oh, here, participants. Is it right here?
Oh, brother can flip one house for a good price, but cannot figure out how to let people in on the way. I like it. I like it.
Hey, bro, you come in like 40 minutes late. You can't just unmic and start talking.
I
can, because we're on the right time zone. What happened to you guys to start so early?
Well, who let you in? Okay, that's okay. Let's move on.
I came in the back door.
Well, is there somebody waiting, or do you want to guide me?
That's all right. Leave them, Dust. Okay, so we went over how you found it, how you funded it. Oh.
Yeah, so that's hold on, right?
So was this guy was kind of like a hoarder then, yeah? Looks like.
Yeah, so his mom, he actually got the property from his mom. He actually said that his mom was a hoarder, but I think he was also. Yeah, this is like the downstairs hallway. This is like the bottom of the stairs. Majority of the house was just about chest high. Some of the things was almost to the ceiling. Fans. This is like the dining area. Like this one is almost to the dining table lamp too. Right here, you can kind of see. Right here.
Can't even see the dining room.
Yeah. So pretty much all the windows in the house was pretty much frozen because you just couldn't get to it. Like I don't think he's even opened up the windows in like years in the house. So it was pretty bad, I guess. It was pretty it was kind of toxic actually, to tell you the truth. And then these are some of the bedrooms right here. So this one, like some of the bedrooms, you can't even walk inside. There was just boxes, just random stuff. I don't know if they would just collect stuff and just put it in the room or what they did but so yeah, this is another one too, another bedroom. This is the master bath, the master bedroom. The master bath was only a half bath in this house. Yeah, so it only had a toilet and a sink. I kind of was tripping on this picture because there was like the toothpaste next to the toilet bowl cleaner. So like, I was like, oh man, somebody actually said something about that, made a joke. I was like, oh wow, I didn't even notice that, but he noticed that. I thought it was kind of funny too, but
Well, if your house looks like that, what does it matter? Oh,
Whoa.
what?
yeah. So
How many
this,
cans did you have to use?
yeah,
Oh,
so
brother, that's extra income right there. Recycling.
yeah. So the just to trash this house out, I think it was like 10 grand before you even started to demo. So
Holy smoke.
we had about 12 guys in there, just yanking everything out. We filled up 4 40-yard bins, smashed down with the little tractor thing, 4 of them. So there was a point where actually the rubbish, so they knocked out one of the second floor windows. They're just dumping it out from the second floor also, and they just kept tossing it out, and the rubbish was actually almost as high as the entire house. There was like piles where it was like almost to the entire to the roof of the second floor. Like they was throwing it out and it wasn't even falling down anymore, the rubbish. It just was landing like outside the window. And then
Oh, bro. Dustin, if you were strategic, you should have left the pile out in front of the house, then door knock the rest of the neighborhood and go, oh, look at those trashy neighbors. You better sell me your house now before your value goes down too much.
yeah. And then yeah, so it was we actually got got some complaints from the neighbors too because of the stench that started to come out when we was bringing all the stuff out. So
That's crazy. Can only imagine how bad it smells.
yeah,
Like there's Hauna and then there's Hauna exponential.
so there's like
So how
this
long
one.
did it take you guys to trash out?
I think it was about a week, but they had about 12 guys. At first they only had 6 and it's supposed to take 4 days. And my guy called me back and said, you know what, man, this thing is beating us. Like this, like they just bring in some reinforcements and they just have to crank it up a notch. But yeah, I think it took them about a week after they brought in like twice as much as guys. So so basically the whole
Just
house
because you
too.
kept losing guys in the rubbish, yeah? At the end of the day, you'd be like, hey, where'd Chemo go? Oh, he's underneath all the rubbish. We lost him, man.
So, some guys though, some guys actually they was working on it and they just couldn't do it anymore. Like some guys would just go outside and they're just like, I can't do this anymore. Like they just was like giving up on like just bringing all the rubbish out. They just couldn't handle it. I don't know what it was. But, yeah, the whole entire house was pretty much like this. Actually, this is like as you were walking around the whole house, you would just be hearing every step you took. You would just be hearing, um, like crunching and stuff breaking under your shoes and stuff like that. And then, so this is the exterior
That's
before. Yeah, this is the exterior before, and then this is the after.
Oh, with the brand new Mercedes Benz.
No, I don't have that car anymore. That car is gone. The car is like, yeah, that car is gone. The only picture. But
looks nice.
yeah, the
outside.
trim is actually white on this house. You can't really tell in the picture. The trim is actually white. So the whole entire. So I actually hired a project manager for this too. Amber too. She's my realtor who sold it too. So she's the one who designed this whole house. She chose. She painted these black stairs and she put everything together and. I don't know if she's on here or not, but I definitely appreciate her because she lives in Milan too, and she was driving out there all the time to Haula, and it was like an hour and 20 minutes out there every day. And
how do you compensate a project manager like that who's also your realtor? So she's going to get a commission. But then if she's also designing it, do you give her a fee or do you just promise her the listing? Or how does somebody like us who might want to utilize a project manager so we don't have to drive an hour and a half to Haula, how do we get to like that?
So yeah, so you know what, actually, so I had her, she's actually a lifelong friend of mine. I actually went to her house one day and I went inside her house and I just was so amazed on how nicely decorated her house was with like the design, the colors and everything. And I ended up getting a flip in Mililani and I noticed that she lived right across the street. So she lived across the street. I actually hired her to do that one first. And then yeah, she was doing that one first. And then I said, you know, why don't you jump on this one? And then we negotiated a price. It was a set price, but she kind of wanted more for it. So she was kind of wondering what is the next step. So she ended up getting her license in the middle of in the middle of the two projects and becoming a realtor. And then yeah, from there on out, she just right from acquisitions, she just takes over from there. So after we close, boom, she's the project manager. Boom, she's the one to list and you know, dispose of the property and everything. So yeah, that kind of
Oh,
works
that's
out pretty well. Yeah, that kind of takes off a lot of weight and you know time for me too. So yeah, that kind of worked out really well. So, yeah, this is the kitchen.
What do you
before.
compensate somebody like that for project management? Like $5,000 for a project?
I think I was so the Haula one, I think we agreed on 15. I think I gave her like 15 grand.
Is it different per project? Because depending on the heavy load, like how big of a project it is, how much time it's gonna take, and yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it kind of varies. I think the other one might have been yeah, she lived across the street. I gave her, I think well, I think it was like 10 grand we agreed upon. But yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah.
Well, I mean, what I like about that whole concept is the fact that it allows you to scale, because then it keeps you focused in on negotiations and acquisitions. And then you've got somebody who basically you hand the keys to. And for $10,000, you know, if you're going to make 100 grand, 150 grand, then that's like 10% only. And so that's just great because you have zero time that you have to spend on it after that.
Oh yeah,
After
definitely.
acquisition.
Well, then you can focus on finding deals and funding deals, right?
Yeah.
To find the next one. So,
Right.
which is, you know, what starts the whole process, right? You got to find the deal, you got to fund the deal. I think it's very interesting that this deal came in through a PPC ad, you know.
Yeah.
It just shows that works, you know. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely, the PPCs though can be very costly. I'm still running it right now. I think I pay like right now I pay about like $4 grand a month for that. It is very costly, but can be also very powerful. A lot of my deals last year, I think about several of them came from the PPC. And
Wow.
yeah, I had about like 3 solid ones came from PPC.
And Dustin, you do your PPC through that one company in Minnesota, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if in Minnesota. That's
What are they called again?
There's
Orange
a bunch of
Apple?
them out there, though.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah, we talked to them too, Corey, if you remember.
We did? Oh,
Yeah, you called him. Yeah. He actually, the guy actually emailed me and told me that. Yeah, thank you for sending you there. And he said
but don't they cap it? Like, don't they not allow certain markets to have more than a few people that of their clients? Because otherwise you kind of saturate it, right? And you're competing against each other, or no?
Yeah, they limit to how many people per market. And in on Oahu, Dustin was one of, I think, 3 other people. But Dustin he's always on monsters and steroids. So he's the fastest at the response time. And so he was getting deals like crazy. Hey, I think it was Derek was asking what PPC is. Dustin, you can kind of explain what PPC is.
Oh yeah, sure. PPC is like pay-per-click ads. So yeah, I don't. So I actually pay people to run it. I pay them to run it. I don't know too much about it, but it's like you pay per click and you bid on like keywords, I guess like the most popular keywords. And um, yeah, there is sometimes people can run it up though. Sometimes if there's somebody that knows what it is and they're like trying to just run up your bill, they'll just keep clicking on it and go back and forth. But usually they can detect that.
Yeah.
They can kind of detect that and kind of stop that to see if it's just like just some kind of nonsense. But yeah, so PPC is so they run from Google Ads, and it's like AdWords, the Google AdWords.
Yep.
I was also running SEO too. SEO I don't think is as efficient. SEO kind of takes a while to build. That's like search engine optimization. That's more like organic leads. So like people, they search something, they click on it. PPC more so when they search something, your stuff will pop up at the top of the Google list.
For certain keywords, right?
Yeah. So if like
Hey,
somebody
Dustin, what was the name of that company again? Because I think some folks would really be intrigued by it.
the AdWords Nerds is the one.
That's it. AdWords Nerds. That's the guys.
Yeah,
Good guys.
that's the guys who run your marketing for you. I
Yeah.
think the first program from them, I think it's like 14 or 15 grand for 4 months, and then but you still have to pay roughly about $2,000 a month for all the pay-per-clicks, all the Facebook ads they run, the Instagram ads. So it's like 14 grand for them to run it for 4 months, and then you still got to pay for the actual marketing.
Right.
So,
So it's like, it's not cheap, right? Like, especially when you're first getting started and stuff. But that's why, like, I give a lot of credit to you, man. Like, that's why, you're a trigger puller, right? You're not afraid to take risk. You're not afraid to, you got to pay to play sometimes, right? You got to pay in your time or money, right? And pay-per-click is faster than SEO because, you're basically paying to be at the top of those keywords. So kudos to you, man. Like, that's what entrepreneurship is all about. You gotta, sometimes you gotta take that risk. You gotta see what happens.
Yeah. I actually actually, in order to make this work, so when I was in the carpenters union and I got out, I actually pulled out my 401k to do this. So I had about I put on my 401k several times before, but I think I only had about like 20 grand in there. So I just yanked the whole thing out, and I was like, you know what, this is all I got. Let's see if this can work. I know other people, it's been a success for them too. So I just kind of dived deep into it and just said, hey, let's see what you guys can do. 4 months, let's get it. You know what I mean? 14 grand of out of fun. That's all I had too at the time too. And is I'm gonna make it like
fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold, and you're definitely bold. You take your 401k out, your retirement, which I think that was a good move, because if you have a 401k, man, you guys got to start, you got to get other avenues. But you took that out, you spent almost all of it, right, on pay-per-click, and you told us from the beginning you're not really tech savvy, right? So but you rolled the dice and it paid off, so
after my thought was what, either I can make it or break it, and if nothing happens, then I don't know what I was gonna do next. I honestly did not know where to go from there, so I just was trying to just wait and see. So good thing it came on the top though. But yeah, I mean, the thing about it is too though, is that when I first started it last year, it was booming from January to April, and then I actually shut it off for a little while, and then on December I turned it back on last year, and then I've been having it run every day till it's still running today. But the thing is that for some reason it didn't pull much in this year. It really didn't. Last year it just was cranking. This year for some reason, and I mean, my stuff is still at the top. My stuff is still, but I haven't really gotten much success like last year from it. And I actually had it running longer this year. I still have meetings with the with my team, my marketing team, and stuff like that too. But yeah, they're always readapting, readjusting, and tweaking things. But yeah, sometimes you just don't know what you're ever gonna get. You know, you just gotta take that chance, see if it works, see if it doesn't.
So what gave you the gut feeling that this was the right move?
Um, I just I just was looking for some more avenues to kind of acquire deals. So I actually when I first started, I was doing, I was making offers on MLS, and there's, MLS is pretty saturated. It's pretty hard. It's really hard to get on there. I was doing cold calling. The cold calling was kind of not really going anywhere. I know it does work for a lot of people though, but for me it wasn't really working. Then I was doing the direct mailers, and I wasn't getting much feedback on that either. So I figured, um, why not do something where instead of you go over there chasing them, trying to step into their thing and chasing them and trying to, um, trying to even get them to come to a point where they even consider selling their house, kind of have them meet you halfway there. But so like by the time they click on the ad, they're already interested, they're already motivated to sell their house. So like you're kind of one step closer to even closing a deal. So I figured maybe, try and hit that avenue, and yeah, it worked too. I was actually doing a bandit signs too for a little while. I did not put up much, but I got some feedback on that too. That's like another way to kind of, put something out there. It's kind of like you're casting the net and then kind of waiting, till they come to you, kind of. So you're just kind of, so yeah, it's kind of like a
Yeah,
different
so like in the internet marketing space, Mike Dillard kind of coined the phrase attraction marketing. So his philosophy, which is exactly what you're talking about, is you're not forcefully marketing. Like you're having the marketing like the leads come to you, right, off of what the marketing that you're putting out there. So they've already taken a step to search a certain keyword, which is likely someone who is a distressed owner may be searching, right? And then they click on your website and then they reach out to you. And direct mail is kind of like that. It's kind of like attraction marketing because you're marketing to them first, right? And then they're taking action to call you back. But when it's PPC, you're kind of just putting it up on the platform on Google, right? And then people who are searching for some, like I need a cash buyer to buy my house, then that's more like attraction marketing, So I get what you're saying with that.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I just want to add that I think Dustin and I were at the gym once, and after he had just did a AdWords Nerds campaign, and that's when he started telling me about it. I don't know if you remember, Dustin, we're at Kapiolani working out, and I remember you saying something that was pretty profound, and you were just basically saying that you were trying to maximize the efficiency of your time, and by you chasing down deals and door knocking, although that was fine, and if you had no money, that's definitely a good way to start, but you had a little bit of money and you wanted to invest it to really scale your business as fast as possible, and that's where you tapped into a resource like AdWords Nerds, is because they could be able to platform you in such a way that they would send deals to you almost like it's passive, like you just kind of hang out and wait till the deals came. And that's when you had locked up that one deal that was just like crazy, like $400,000 undervalued. And so that's what made us take a look at it. But I think what is profound is that every one of us as investors is we got to ask that question, is what's the best use of our time today? And what's our best use of our money today? Because how we spend our time and money today is a direct correlation as to what our success will be tomorrow. And so too many times, you talk to realtors or you talk to investors and they're doing stuff with their time, and I'm being dramatic, but like, you watch Netflix or you go out to bars or you just kind of hang out, you don't do anything productive, then it's no wonder that, a couple of years down the road, they don't have much success, is because they didn't invest their time and their finances wisely today. And so I think that's what has been just a super fun blessing watching you scale over the last couple of years, is because you've been very conscientious of how you're spending your time and your money. And just because you like having fun and you'd rather have somebody else bring you leads than you sitting outside in the hot sweating sun and, have to pound the pavement, right? So I've always appreciated that about you, and that's always been an inspiration to me.
Yeah, thanks. I definitely believe in delegation. I think delegation is one way to really open up other avenues, and even just for your, your personal life too, to kind of just take a break, and not to always kind of get overwhelmed with yourself and get burnt out. I think, I definitely believe in taking breaks, and paying a little extra, even though it's money out of your pocket. If that's not your thing, so like designing and running a project, that's not really my thing. I don't like to pick the cabinets. I don't like to pick the floors. I don't want to, I'm like so indecisive when it comes to those kind of things. So I just kind of just pass that on to somebody else and just kind of let them have it. So, yeah.
Yeah. What is that saying? Do
Corey,
what you
that
do
sounds
best.
Yeah,
very
that's brilliant.
familiar.
When it comes to team building. Go
Yeah,
ahead, whoever was talking.
Well,
What?
yeah, Layla knows exactly what you're talking about, because I'm just like you. Like, I'm not good at designing. It doesn't fulfill me. I don't
Yeah,
get
Corey's
jollies
horrible at
off of it. So like, I like the thrill of the deal, like, so I like the front end, the acquisition side. So it's like, do what you do best and delegate the rest, right? That's what they say. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just move on to the next. So yeah, that's the actual thing right here.
Nice.
She designed this one. Nice finishing touches. Oh yeah, the house is right across the beach, so we kind of went with a nice kind of country, ocean, natural kind of feel. It is in Hauula, so we didn't want to go with anything too crazy, too fancy. It's only in Hauula. The house is not in Hawaii Kai, so when we do
Right.
something in Hawaii Kai, we go with something a little bit more crazy. So, but
I think that's a perfect, like, balanced remodel. It's not too crazy, because actually we were talking about, like, usually I don't recommend holding properties in Hawaii, because like, we're not a cash flow market, the return is not worth it. But you bought it so low that we were talking, right? It's like, man, maybe you should just cash out, refi, and just hold that thing and just cash flow this property, right? Which is what you did initially. And but plus, like, because if you sold it, like, you would have made maybe like what, 400 or something.
yeah,
450?
somewhere around there, like 4.
But you're going to get taxed heavy on that capital gains, right? So whereas if you did a cash out refi and you pocketed like 250 or 225 like you did, that's a loan, so you don't pay taxes on that, not yet,
Right.
until you sell. So like, you might as well take the equity, put some in your pocket, and hold that thing, ride appreciation and cash flow. But you decide to sell anyways, which is still good. Like, you couldn't lose no matter what in this. You bought it so low that either option is cherry.
Yeah, I think there's a really nice balance with the refi right in the middle. So I didn't get hit with the taxes, but and then you sell at the end, so at least you still kind of show something on paper too, So it was a really nice balance.
Yep.
So, yeah. And then
Nice.
so this is the upstairs living room before. So I think this chair right here was actually the guy's bed. He used to just like sleep like on this, like everything, like the whole house was just full of just stuff. Like I honestly don't know where he showered or used the bathroom, because I got those pics coming later, but it was just you can't even get to it. So yeah, I think that was a upstairs living room. So that's after.
Wow.
Kind of a smaller living room. This house did have 2 living rooms. It also had 2 kitchens too. Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I kind of tried to Airbnb it too and split it in half. Yeah, here's the upstairs bathroom. Yeah, I couldn't even walk inside to get to the shower. So yeah, yeah, there's like stuff in the sink, and so that's after.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kudos to Amber on this one. Real nice and clean, and real nice touches to it. So nothing too crazy. I really like the black finishes, how she chose that, and the nice kind of color tile and stuff like that.
It's a perfect balanced rehab. It's not too, you didn't over rehab, but you didn't under rehab, right? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the downstairs kitchen. Shoot, I don't have it in this picture, but right above this ceiling over here, it had like a big hole in the ceiling from the upstairs, and the plumbing was all bad in this house. The cast iron plumbing was basically cracking, so it was just leaking like all over the house, and there was this big hole right above the kitchen right here that we had to fix too, but. Yeah, he probably hasn't used his kitchen in ages too. I don't even know how he was really living in here, but and that's after too right here.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
beautiful.
So the bottom so so I guess in Hawaii it's illegal to have two kitchens in Hawaii. So what we decided to do down here was to put just a cooktop instead of an actual stove, and you can just run
That's
it out.
awesome.
Yeah, so it kind of.
And I love the fact that you did that. We're starting to do the same thing where you do the shelving on the uppers. It saves so much money, but the design is so fresh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is actually my project manager Amber's like signature. Like
Yeah.
she did that in her house, and I really liked it, and so she does it on all my projects too. And I'm just like, yeah, put the open shelves, the wooden open shelves.
Yeah, because then it
So,
saves you on having to put the upper cabs, right?
yeah,
It saves so much money.
yeah, gives it a nice kind of open and nice kind of feel to it too. Yeah, it's really especially if you have nice dishes too, you can kind of decorate with dishes also. Kind of gives you that option too. So all the electrical too redid, candlelights and all of that. So here's a downstairs living room. Um, so over here was actually so this is the stairs. Over here was all open. This is the bottom of the stairs. I ended up, so this is when at the end of the project, that's when I ended up to try to Airbnb it. So I had the guys come back. We built this wall and put this door here so you can split the top and the bottom.
That's smart.
Yeah, so you can, so yeah. Oh, and yeah, I actually, because I Airbnb'd it, like I full on like furnished the whole entire house, like myself and my girlfriend too. Like she was helping so much. But I had to go to the mattress store. I bought like 5 beds, 5 mattresses, 5 bed, 5 bed sets. I went to what is it, Color Time or something?
Yep.
I just grabbed all the furniture. So yeah, I just fully furnished.
That's not cheap, bro.
Yeah, bought all the decorations at like TJ Maxx. I went to I think it was Costco. I bought like maybe like 4 TVs or something like that. That kind of took a while. So, but so this is the downstairs bathroom. It's an ADA bathroom. I think.
Okay, so Dustin, I might have missed that. Did you tried to Airbnb it for a while and then you ended up deciding to sell it, or you sold it as an Airbnb?
I tried to Airbnb it like a month before the pandemic happened, before they actually shut everything down. So it was Airbnb being pretty good. And then this whole thing happened, and then everybody just started canceling their flights, and it was a bit of a hassle for me to Airbnb it too, because at the time I had to keep, every time you're trying to turn clients over, you got to go over there, clean up, and then you got to wash the bed sheets, and especially if say you got like the I only had one washer and one dryer there, and I didn't know where the laundromat was over there, so I'm over here like all day trying to wash sheets, and while I'm doing that, trying to clean the place, and I was trying to find a cleaner down there also, but nobody wanted to do it. So, but this whole thing happened. I was like, it's just not working out. So I kind of just closed the chapter on that. But yeah, I think,
Gotcha.
yeah. So
You're right. Where did the guy sleep? Yeah. Wow.
yeah. So yeah.
Or where did he shower and use the bathroom?
I know, right? I think I honestly think he was showering at the beach across the street.
Probably.
I think he was going down the street and using their shower because he had a bike, and he just I think he just ride his bike down the street and shower down the street, I think. But
Yeah.
I mean, the bathrooms didn't work either. Like, the toilets and stuff like that too. So I was kind of wondered about that too. But um, so yeah, we kind of built this partition wall right here.
Hmm.
Um, it gives it like a really really nice. I really like this shower. Like one day I'm gonna have a shower like this in my house. Like you just walk in like this, and you just stand right there. A nice open feel
Hmm.
to it. No curtains. Um, she Yeah, she designed that. She designed it all this too. We actually so before I even listed it, and that once that Airbnb was slowing down, I actually ended up bringing my family out there and staying out there for like a week. So because it was already fully furnished, I had towels, had soap, had I bought dishes, cups, plates, and cooking utensils and pots and pans. So it was just ready to just live in. So we just actually stayed in there for a week before we listed it. Have a little
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Hey, Dustin, on your project manager, like you keep giving her props for designing and she did this and she did that. A lot of the stuff that she did was obviously cost conscious, but I mean, sometimes like to wrap tile on the wall like that, some of those things are a little bit spendier than just say a fiberglass base and, just tiling one wall. So how do you work out your budget and decision making with your project manager to make sure that they're not overdoing it, or do you just kind of be like, hey, do what you got to do, just don't go above this number? How do you manage that person?
Yeah, kind of like what you just said. I kind of give her kind of like a budget, and she's really good at finding things on sale. She's really good at waiting for the sale. If there's like a holiday coming up, she'll wait and then she'll jump on it and go and buy the stuff like that. So she's really conscious about those kind of things too. But yeah, I just give her a renovation number, and she just kind of goes off of that, see what she can do, and if she has any like ideas or anything, she'll just run it by me real quick and stuff like that. But I really do have a lot of faith and trust in her, and like I just give her the stuff, and I don't have to. The one thing I really like about our relationship is that I don't have to hold her hand. Like I just give her the keys, and here you go, do what you do. Here's the number, follow that, boom. And we both know what our goals are and what we're working towards. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So that's it. If you guys got any questions,
Awesome, man.
yeah,
Does anybody have any questions for Dustin? Thanks, Dust, for sharing and being transparent about who you worked with and who you're using and stuff. Like that's always value for the group, and congratulations again on a awesome deal. I remember Alex and I, we were in the hotel room. We had all the deals on this big screen in the hotel room. We're just looking back at it and be like, oh, look at Dustin's deal. Remember that, Alex?
Yeah.
I remember that. You guys didn't even sleep for like 24 hours. That getting that stuff done. You guys was up for like 2 days straight. That just cranking in the
That
hotel.
was crazy. Alex didn't sleep because he came up from San Diego, and he did not stop. But yeah, we're like, oh, look at Dustin's deal, 15% LTV.
Best deal ever. That's for sure.
Thanks so much for having me, though. You guys are definitely an inspiration to me, and you guys are. I do consider you guys mentors, and I'm always glad to always connect with you guys. We gotta get another lift sesh though with all of us in there. So
Yeah,
I'll get one in.
Gotta add Corey to the group.
I know you guys work out too early.
Hey, Dustin, do you mind putting up your purchase?
Yeah, sure. Let me see. Is that the numbers you're asking for, or
Yeah.
this one right?
Hey, Dustin, I have a thing. Yeah, I mean, now that we saw the before and afters, I'd just love to see the number. Was saying with the renovation, like what, 215. So it sounds like you just kind of give a budget and try and have her stay between.
Yeah. So I just kind of give her that give her a number. I show her the numbers too. I kind of give her a ARV too.
Right.
Yeah. She also actually so once I close too, she's the one who actually gets bids from contractors too. That's
Wow.
one thing I like too. So if I have contractors, I'll send them to her, and she'll go meet them. She'll get the bid from them. She'll negotiate with them too. So it's pretty much from the closing. She'll just work it all the way from bids to, demos to installation to disposition and all that too. So she definitely provides a lot of value too. So if you're
You
on here,
said essentially once you acquire it, you just pass it off to her, right? She does everything else from renovation, and you're saying she even contacts the contractors for bids
yeah,
all the way to disposition. That's incredible.
yeah.
That is incredible. Yep.
Yeah, that's a great find. And what was cool is that Dustin found her because she was just already in his circle of influence and circle of relationship.
Yeah.
And how cool that your project was like across the street from her house. So you got a little like trial run before you even had to, go all in.
Yeah. You know what? Too well about that too is her dad actually owns a AC business, and I used him as a private money lender before on one of my deals. And at that time, I had a lot of deals going, and I was just looking for funds left and right. And I said, and I think I told you about him, Corey. Like I'm banging on his door. He is my grandma's neighbor, but I banged on his door like 10 times, and he would just tell me like, "Get out of here!" No. He's a super cool guy, though. But, how many times he told me no, I'm still knocking on his door. But I said, if I can get this guy to say yes, now this I can get anybody to say yes, right? I mean, but so he landed on one of my first deals. And I was looking for funds again. I asked him if he wanted to come again. So I was knocking on his door again. And he was like, "What do you want? More money? What do you want? Let's get out of here." Like he was really loud and obnoxious, but super cool guy. But at one point, I actually was driving on the road, and I was driving on the side of him, and he was just so like irritated at me that I rolled my window down. I was waving because he knew me since I was like a little kid too. So I was waving at him. Like he just looked at me and just kind of waved and sped off. Like he didn't want to do with me. So when I came across that deal and I seen that Amber, she lived across the street, and I said, "Hey, you know what? If I can, and I seen her house, how I liked it. I said, if I can get her to manage that property, guarantee the dad will invest." So I was like, so I kind of just connected the dots, pulled her in, she spoke to her dad about it. So she pulled the dad in, and then that's just how me and her dad just partnered up on it. She ran it, and it just all worked out on that one. So
Bruh,
kind of strategically worked that one, I guess. But
the biggest takeaway for me from your presentation, and like I knew that story already, but I just you saying it again, dude, like that's a huge inspiration to me because for one, you spend a lot of money on that AdWords. Like it's not easy to fork up 15 grand up front and then 4 grand a month. Like that's all you had from your 401k, right? If you had 20 grand, like you gotta it just shows like you gotta in entrepreneurship and any venture that you're on, there's moments that you kind of got to put on the big boy pants, and roll the dice and not be afraid to ask and talk to people and ask for money, ask if you want to invest, talk about what you do. And like, that's why, from, all the thousands of people who try to break through in this business, it's not easy, but that's why like guys like you make it, you know what I mean? Because you got that special thing inside that a lot of people don't. They don't have the stones to do what you've done to get this type of deal, right? So like no one can say that you got lucky and got a lucky deal. Like, oh, you're so lucky you got this deal. It's not luck. It like fortune favors the bold. You forked up all the money for the marketing. You you knocked on that guy's door how many times, even though he's telling you to get lost. And then, that's why so much respect to you, bro. Really appreciate it. Does anybody else have any questions for Dustin before we log off?
I have a question. It's more about the marketing that he was doing. Yeah, I love the story, Dustin. Great presentation. Love how this deal developed and everything you did to make it happen because, as everybody saw, I mean, it didn't just put itself together. There was a lot of hurdles that needed to be hit. So good great job on that. My question is, you were mentioning that you were like doing marketing, you're doing the cold calling, you're doing direct mail. Did you pivot because you were like, hey, this wasn't working, or because you just wanted to use less time? You wanted to do the, like you said, attract the lead to you rather than, chasing the leads. Why did you make those changes? And did you like stick through those? Like, did you actually do like months of campaigns on those before you ended up switching to other marketing? How did that work out? I'm just kind of curious on that.
It's kind of a bit of both. So when I first started, it was like I was actually doing my own direct mailers. I was actually printing it from my computer, putting it in an envelope, printing out envelopes, just manually doing everything. And I just was like, there gotta be a better way, So I figured I kind of just go to, just go to the best, whatever, just delegate what are not your strengths. So yeah, it was very time consuming. I was barely getting feedback. And then, so I ended up, cold calling was kind of like a chase. It is exhausting. Chasing is exhausting. You'll get tired. Some people love the chase. But for me, I think having them come to you is more of my style, kind of like, paying the money, having something maximized, at its utmost, just paying the money for them to do that I think is more of my style. So, I know a lot of people, they love to get out there and just, hit the ground running, but I'm more of like a kind of a laid back, kind of chill guy, I guess. If I'll put it out there, I'll put the bait out there. If they bite the bait, then let's work. But yeah, it's
you kind of pounded your head against the wall for a few months or so with direct mail, cold calling, and all that, and then you just realize, like, let me just hand this off to some marketing guys that's all they do is marketing, right? They're called nerds, right? Google or AdWords nerds, because like they probably just geek out on the analytics and stuff. Like, that's the thing about I think I was having a conversation with Keone and maybe Richie too. Like, it's like when you're in the position you're in, somebody once asked me, I can't even remember who it was, like, what do I do on the day-to-day? Like, what do I do? And it's like the hardest question to answer, because like, I don't swing the hammer, like, cause I'd get hurt. I'd hurt myself, if I did that, and I'll do something wrong. It's not my money, because I use other people's money. So what I do is like, and what you do is like, you do what you do best and you delegate the rest, right? Like you're the syndicator. You connect people, like you're the connector, right? Exactly. And that's not the easiest position either, because you have to bring the deal with the money and then the people to execute. So you move the pieces across the board, right? That's what you do. So you build relationships to put the puzzle together. Yeah. So exactly. It's not like we have one skill. Like we're all over the board. We have to move the pieces across the board and put the people who are better than us and specialize in what they do in that position, and make sure that that's the right person. Like that's what we do. So that's the hardest question. The hardest question for me to answer for a long time, because I don't know what I do really. Like I just kind of like figure out where people got to go, right? And just get the job done.
We just orchestrate and manage everything, and just orchestrate, try to put like a little symphony together, and hopefully it sounds good, I guess. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got a question. And I gotta say that I never get tired of hearing this story, brother. I never get tired of hearing this story. It's so motivating, man. It's unbelievable. I gotta say that as a flipper, and anybody can attest out there, like this is one of them white whales, right? I think Corey mentioned, I think you talked about being a unicorn. But my question is, with a deal being this big and the profit margin so big, you set the bar so high for yourself. So with deals coming in, and as you analyze, what about your profit margin nowadays? Do you even get excited about deals less than 100,000 profit?
I honestly do. I do. Sometimes I'll do like a quick rehab where it's just a nice, buy it, clean it out, and then I'll just make like a quick 20 or 30. I still get pretty excited about that. To be honest too, I think I'm actually trying to get into the wedding industry actually. Hawaii is actually the #1 capital, the wedding capital of the world. So my girlfriend, she's heavily invested in the wedding industry. She's been doing it for like 15 years. So I figure if me and her kind of team up, she uses all her connections, all her venues, then I can kind of use my real estate to maybe possibly open up a venue one day. So that's kind of like my goal too, and what kind of I've been kind of working on too, because after I kind of spoke with her about like venues and renting the venues out, some venues actually charge, like 5 to 10 grand a day. So if you just average out like 7 grand a day, say about 20 days out of a month, that's that's like what, like a couple $100,000 a month. That's kind of one thing that I've been kind of trying to work on. I've been kind of scoping out the MLS too for that too. But I think the wedding industry too is been one thing that's been really kind of getting me excited. And then that's been. But yeah, I still do deals with 30 grand, whatever. I think whatever works. Money's money to me. It doesn't matter how much. If you make 20 grand, you make 100. I think the process and just I think the process is what I'm in love with, and the chase kind of.
Nice.
Just not closing on something, just having something in your possession, kind of. But yeah, that's
right on, man. Right on. Are you guys familiar with the Wedding Cafe and the people who put that together?
I'm not sure. She's like so there's like a is that in Haleiwa? Is that it? No.
Actually, they were in town, but we can talk offline about that. But since you mentioned that, if you guys ever need, they actually were smashing the industry out here in Hawaii, and they put together the whole A to Z. So if you ever need those contacts, I still keep in contact. They did our wedding and whatnot, but they have like, when I mean A to Z, I mean A to Z. So they know everything, and they put on all of these things for new brides and grooms and consultations, and then they show you like your wedding planners and the forks and the knives and all these different vendors. It's all in one place, one hub. Musicians, entertainment, DJs, all of the guys who marry you. So yeah, I think that's a great venue. I think you're right. There's a lot of money. Obviously, everybody's getting smashed right now because of this whole COVID thing. Nobody's able to come here and get married, and everything's closed, but it is a profitable business. So yeah, we can talk more about that if you ever need help, man.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, yeah, thanks so much, Johnny. Yeah, I see you over there just killing it too, buying a house every other week. This guy. taking all the deals now. Killing it, bro. Hey, big ups to you, bro. I definitely look up to you, bro. I definitely. I met you on that the tour too, and on that class too, and it was the first time I spoke to you a couple of years ago too. So
yeah, man. Thank you, brother.
That's the entrepreneur spirit in you, man. Like, going into the wedding side, like that's what it is. Like, we're real estate investors, like that's technically our title, but in order to be in this business, you gotta have the entrepreneur spirit, right? Because and you definitely have it, bro. Well,
thanks, man.
Thanks again, Dust, for sharing. And if anybody has questions that they want to hit up Dustin offline, where can they find you, bro?
You can follow me at on Instagram, or you can just follow me on there. Hit me in the DM. I'm always willing to answer questions. I'm always willing to help too. If you ever need something, or I'm always trying to point you in the right direction too. Just let me know. Don't be afraid to reach out. I know, especially if you're first starting, I definitely was once there. I know where you're coming from. So I know what a lot of us, we know what you guys feel too, and we're always looking out for each other too, and it's like one big family too. So it's not but love, and love for the game, and so just don't be afraid to reach out.
And guys, just one thing about Dustin is it could be the most intense situation in your life, and hey brother, it's good, yeah man, no worries. All right, yeah. Okay, it has to be done in 5 minutes. All right, call me in 3. Let me know. All right, bye.
That's so true, man.
Oh, it's so nice to have somebody like that you can work with. That's and you can be in the most intense situation, but they're calm, cool, collected, and they're just there to help as much as they can. So I encourage everybody to reach out to him, do some work with him, and definitely go get a gym session in with him if you can.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody at UFC. I go to the UFC in Milan. I just lift weights over there. So if anybody wants to, oh man, I'm always down to get a session.
Well, thanks again, Dust, and that's 100% true what Alex just said, because like you're cool under pressure, you know, and that's qualities of a true leader, and that's not easy to learn, because it's hard sometimes when it's high pressure situation, you know. So like a lot of props to you, and thanks again for sharing, and everybody. I hope you guys have a great week. Sorry for the little mix up today. We'll get it back up and running next week so that there's no confusion, but feel free to reach out to Dustin, and, you know, we'll see you guys in the Facebook group, and otherwise have a great week. Happy Aloha Friday, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right, bro. Thank you, bro. Everybody.
Thanks, Dust. Hey, can you send the controls to me, Dustin?
All right.
I don't know how you do that, actually.
I'm stuck.
Maybe
again.
hover over my screen. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go. Is that?
Yeah, hover over my screen, and
Oh, okay. And then
you see the 3 dots. Should I click that?
Oh, make host.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
You become a computer genius. You're my hero.
I'm definitely not tech savvy. All right.
Hey, Alex,
You did it.
elaborate a little bit more on what our guys were saying when we put Dustin's deal in front of them, because you were the ones really dealing with them, and they were saying like, we can't do this, like this, what's wrong with this deal? How come he's getting it for $100,000 and the thing's like ARV is like 750?
Yeah, they're like, no, they're like, is this real? Like, there's got to be something going on here. There's arm's length transaction. Like, this is just a lawsuit waiting to happen. Like, this is way too good of a deal. What's wrong with the guy? Is he mentally sound? Like,
Right.
like, we're gonna close this deal, and he's gonna be like, no, like I didn't know what's going on. Then we're gonna be in a lawsuit, and like, now is everyone's biggest worry is they were so worried about the lawsuit and like what happened after we closed that nobody wanted to close. They're like, yeah, best deal ever, but I mean, we don't want to get sued. Like, we're gonna get sued. We can't do it. And I was
They're
just like,
afraid.
yeah, everyone. And I mean, we worked with a lot of capital partners, and everybody was the same thing. They're like, no. Even on the refi, the refi we were able to get done, but that was because, we'd already closed. It'd been a couple months. The guy was out. We had the story with him where he was, what we did, what Dustin did to take care of him. First class ticket for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was interesting. It's the only deal I've ever had where capital source is like, not, it's too good of a deal.
Yeah. The deal was too good. Right.
Yeah.
You don't get that often.
Mm-mm.
I wonder, why did we use Rocket Lawyer to draft docs? Is it because just timing, or what did Hornick's office not want to do the loan docs for us?
Hornick's office, they weren't ready. They weren't ready to do the loan docs for us yet. Ours were almost done. They weren't completely done. So it was like, all right, well, we got to get this done now. And we didn't have any more time.
There was no time, like no more time.
That was the day. Like, okay, everyone has denied us. We got to get it done. So
even Celine, your escrow officer, she was like, I've never seen this before.
We just was winging it, man. We just making it happen, right? On the goal. What is that one saying you said? Something about putting on, the big boys pants.
Big boy pants.
Big boy pants.
Had to put the big boy panties on.
Get it done. Yeah.
I told Alex and Scott guys, we were saying, it's like, man, when we're done, we're gonna have so many stories to tell. And that's one of them. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
We were like, man, we cannot not do this deal for Dustin. I would not be able to live with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for pulling through. That was definitely you guys made it happen. So
Thanks for trusting us, bro.
I had a lot of faith in you guys too. I know you guys